there. I'm Shannon. I live in Los Angeles with my husband and teenage son, my dog, my 2 cats, and a random assortment of aquatic critters. I love animals, writing, hiking, road trips, train trips, Vegas trips, Star Trek cruises. I love rainbows and colorful art. I love Disneyland. I love listening to audiobooks and watching cozy murder mysteries. And last year, I quit my job to live like Jessica Fletcher. I was 12 when Murder, She Wrote first aired in 1984 and have fond memories of watching it every Sunday night with my parents, right up until I went off to college. I always thought Jessica Fletcher had the perfect life. Not the murder part, obviously, but the earning a living as a writer, the traveling all the time, the lovely home in the quaint little town, the apartment with no roommates in the big city. I did live in the big city in college, though I had roommates, and I did write a lot in high school and college, though it was back when I had an abundance of creativity and inspiration and endless time and few obligations. Of course, I wasn't as organized or disciplined or intentional as I needed to be to finish a coherent novel. But I loved writing anyway. Eventually, obligations and jobs and anxiety and adulting caused my writing inspiration to wither, and my future dreams of that Jessica Fletcher life went with it. I followed other dreams instead, like working with animals and working in the film industry and knitting doll sweaters. So fast forward 30 years, around the time I turned 50, I had my first wake-up call or revelation or midlife crisis, whatever you want to call it. My mom, who had me when she was 20, was slowly losing her battle with dementia. She'd started losing her memory somewhere around 60 or 65, maybe even earlier. I had to ask myself, if I only have 15 good years left, as she did at this point in her life, what do I want to do with these years? What do I regret not having done in my life? The short answer was write a novel and travel more. At the time, travel wasn't really an option because I was flying back to the East Coast every 6 weeks to help out my dad, who was my mom's caregiver. But I did finally start putting down on paper the story that's been living in my head for decades. And then in September of 2023, my mom passed away. It wasn't unexpected, but it was a lot sooner than I thought it would be. But my dad passed away 2 days after her, and that was unexpected. With my mom, I got the long goodbye. With my dad, I got none. He was also only 20 years older than me, leading to the question, if I've only got 20 years left, how do I want to spend my existence on this earth? And the answer was more or less the same. Travel more and write a novel. But also spend more time with my family. So with encouragement from my husband, I quit my job a year ago to focus on family. Now, obviously, my son is a teenager and in school all day and hanging out with his friends a lot instead of his mom. So that leaves me with plenty of free time to pursue that Jessica Fletcher life of writing and travel. And while I'm in my Jessica Fletcher era, I figured why not document it with a YouTube channel? I've always wanted to start one, but I could never narrow down what I wanted to focus on. So here we go. Welcome to the Ghost Rainbow, where I plan to share writing content like vlogs, sprints, routines, field trips, and retreats, along with lots of exploring around Los Angeles, some travel content, some hiking content, searching for inspiration in the wild, and of course, plenty of cats and dogs and any other animals I can find along the way. If you enjoy that kind of thing, stick around. But please bear with me while I work up the courage to talk to the camera and figure out how to edit. If you're watching this now, just know that it's taken me 3 years to get to this point.